We have a Jones today, but not our most popular Jones, Alex Jones. Instead, we have Jason Jones.
Close second. Similar content.
Oh, you used to be.
Yeah, that motherfucker warped me, dude. I was down 2011. I was fucking checking my water, doing everything, parts per million.
You know, I never really thought about like what an effect he had on like kids like us because gotta get this. Gotta get this kitchen covered here. I never really took into consideration, you know, what kind of effect he actually had on me as a kid because he did for a bit. I kind of went down that rabbit hole for a little bit. But I had an excuse. I was a fucking stupid ass teenager, like fresh out of high school still. I was like 18, 19, would believe that shit. Thought I was fucking Jim Morrison or some shit, you know?
I'm just stupid. No, I saw that Bohemian Grove video and then it was over.
Oh, yeah.
For that was it like, for you?
Oh, yeah. That's all I needed. I was like, God damn, they're doing it. He's right.
It's fucking like Zeitgeist and shit like that.
Yep.
But to tell you the truth, like films like that, like if you really drink the Kool-Aid on it, but don't like kind of unsubscribe from some of it, it can be a good way to get you to like start being like critical thinking.
Oh, for sure.
But you can't believe all of it for fucking ever. You know, like no, that kind of.
I think that gave birth to like the current wave of moderates, because it's just people that are looking at everything, you know, not taking just like their political view.
I think that's a lot of credit to that, though. That's a bit too much credit.
Whatever.
Something brewed out of it.
So you got any tales from the week?
Dude, my week's just been crazy busy. I've had hockey on Monday, so I had to drive out to Delafield for that, which actually wasn't that far for where I played on Saturday, but it was at like 8:15. Then we played for 2 hours, so by the time I got home on Monday, it was like 11:30.
You just pooped.
Yeah, this has been a long week, man.
Dude, we got to get a ice game. Let's get Jason Jones out on the fucking ice, man. He's been all about hockey lately.
Let's do this.
You think you could do it?
I don't know if I want to suffer the repercussions.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because it hurts. Like,
I know.
Like, even if you don't fall, like, you're working shit that you'd never worked before or haven't worked in a while.
I'm down. Where do you guys go?
Pettit, Wilson.
No, I'm going out to Heartland and Delafield.
You can't get me to drive out that way for shit. Seriously, man. I fucking hate driving, man.
This is the farthest I've left my house in probably...
Right? It's the fucking worst.
Year.
But you work close to here, right?
Yeah, in Germantown.
So you came from work, right?
Yeah.
You didn't go, okay, yeah. So it wasn't that bad.
No, it was about 15 minutes.
Like, I could not drive from, like, where you live to Germantown every day for work.
It's pretty good. I go a scenic route, get a nice little peaceful
That's the best
view.
way to do it. The morning scenic.
I don't like it. I like getting on I live right next to the freeway. Don't dox me. Don't swap me. But it's like a 6-minute drive to work. I get on the freeway, and then I get off the freeway, and my work's like right off the freeway too. And it's the same for home. It's like a 6-minute drive. It's awesome. I don't got to sit in fucking Milwaukee fucking traffic. I don't got to waste a bunch of gas and shit.
And I just fly 80.
Just pedal all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used to go through this, like, upper class area it's not technically part of Mequon. It's a little south of Mequon. I used to drive through there. That was really nice. Like golf courses, huge houses that you can barely see.
That place is scary, man. The fucking cops.
Well, there's no cops in
man.
that section because it's just so nice. It's literally that utopian style money where it's like they don't even have cops.
Somebody was talking about to me about this at work, how, you know, like Cedarburg, Mequon, like it's not all like roses and shit, you know. It is a lot of rich people, but they have like a lot of like pill problems and shit. And
I believe it.
The cops have learned to keep, and this is off the testimony of somebody I know that lives out there. I
like the phrasing on that.
The cops keep it off the scanners besides their like hourly check-ins. And they went to cell phones, so people can't monitor him anymore. And I was saying to him, I was like, I was surprised that this has not happened earlier.
Sooner.
Yeah, and I'm surprised it's not, like, everywhere, pretty much.
But he's saying like every time he sees cops out there, they're always on their cell phone talking instead of the radios.
I have a tale from this week.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I saw a cop lock himself out of his car. Oh, man.
I wish I had a pig soundbite.
Yeah, I don't work in the greatest neighborhood, whatever. He was doing like a call to check on somebody.
Kill me.
And yeah, I just see this cop. I'm like driving up the block, and I'm just like, this guy's just standing outside his own car, and I can just see him plastered up against his driver's side window, just like looking most likely at the keys,
like
just
a fucking Garfield suction cup guy.
Yeah, he's just pressed up against the window. Kind of like leaned back as I drove by and looked up into the sky, and I'm just like, oh, that's too bad.
He's probably thinking this is not the best place for me to be locked out of my car. I remember back in the day when close to the area that you were living here, me and fucking Blueberry were out in Sussex. There's a fucking blast from the past.
That is a blast from the past.
Fucking, we were out in Sussex driving someplace, and a motorcycle cop had dropped his bike. We were just going past him. He's trying to pick up this fucking 400, 500-pound fucking cruiser, and he just can't. Like, you dump one of those things, it's like you need help, and he's just struggling trying to get this thing up before anybody fucking sees it.
Reminds me of one time I was roofing, and I was pulling away from a hill, and I had some nails and some OSB sheets of wood in the back, and I pulled away a little too quick, and they all fell out of the back of the truck. A bucket of nails busted on the ground, but I was like a block away from the job site, so I was trying to clean it up real quick before anybody saw me. So that was not a good look.
Yeah, they would not let that down.
No.
Oh, Jesus. This week, it was actually last Saturday when I was like prepping the last episode to publish. Heard some like shouting in the fucking hallway, and it went on for a while. Usually I just like don't mind it or whatever, because walls can be paper thin. It's actually pretty good here. It's usually pretty quiet, but turns out 3 like Eastern European widows pretty much were having an argument pretty much right in front of my door. It was like fucking Russia is trying to annex Crimea in my fucking front stoop. And it just went on and on and on. And I had to fucking open up my door and look at the old ladies with like disgust. I was like, are you done? Like, I'm the old lady in this fucking, like, what?
The tables are turned.
Fate.
But yeah, that's like all that's interesting in my fucking boring ass life this week.
Speaking of arguments outside, I've had, I think it was like twice last week, maybe a little bit before that. But whoa,
sorry,
that was weird. But this couple like parks in front of my house. They always come back trashed, get into an argument, and then the lady pukes out the side of the truck. And like one day, like me and Britt are sitting on the couch watching like some Property Brothers or something, and we just hear a bunch of yelling, some Ralphing.
It was like, oh, it's time to wind my clock and set it to 9.
Yeah, and it's not even late. It's maybe 7:30ish or something. Just go look out the front window, and this girl is just crumpled up in a ball, not once but like twice during that week on the side of on the sidewalk. I'm just like, this is not a good look. This
wasn't something that's been going on for long, has it?
No.
Maybe
it's the playoffs.
Maybe she just got some seasonal depression, man. Maybe she's hitting the booze too hard while the seasons change.
I haven't seen him lately. Somebody called the cops on him.
Oh.
But it was a disaster. Yeah, it's been a quiet week, man. Just
no
busy.
bed bugs?
No. Thank God. I put all that to rest. I did a in-house inspection of the mattress.
I was recounting that because somebody at work said, oh, I listened to episode 21 of your guys' shit. Like, put it on the Alexa system in the house, did my shit. I was like, which one was that? He was like, the bed bug one. I was like, oh. And I told him about the follow-up about how you were just like staring at your own body, waiting for the fucking bed bugs to
Yeah,
come
man,
get you.
that's
Just, like,
psychologically damaging.
crawling out of your skin like
I
some.
couldn't get over it. Yeah, I was sitting up in bed with the phone light, like watching my own body, just like they'll come out and they'll bite me.
Getting-
I'll see them if we have them.
It's like you're getting gang stalked by bed bugs.
Yeah. But yeah, I did a little in-house inspection. Now I'm sleeping like a baby. It's great.
Set out a fogger.
Smoke them if you got them, man. So, is this your pick for the first?
This
the
this is
news?
your pick. This
Yeah,
is the
well,
first
yeah, I
thing
know, but-
booted up here.
But that's your pick out of the first ones you want to go to? I could not believe this shit. I was like,
This is
true?
all fresh off the pages for me.
Right.
What's going on here?
So apparently a guy, not once, but twice in one day, I think that's what it said in the story, came in to this aquarium in Canada and jumped into he took off all his clothes and
Yeah,
jumped
strip naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, twice. You
How
got
do
it.
you get back in?
Well, that's the thing. He got away both times.
Holy shit.
Apparently, this guy was having a day. There was a disturbance at a medieval times that they suspect was this man that day, too. And they asked him to leave, and he ended up going back in the building and breaking some pane of a glass and leaving. And then he ended up coming to this aquarium,
This guy was
taking off
turned up
all his
to 11.
clothes. Yeah, I know.
Jump in. I got a jouster.
Dun, 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 dun. But, dude, call up this video.
This
like,
one right here.
Play it, but turn the audio off so you can watch him jump into this fucking tank, butt ass naked. And this is the second time he did it,
He had like good form.
right?
Yeah, that was like a back back dive there.
He's just like doing a backstroke and shit. Like, he does not give a shit. Like, from the people watching him, they were saying that he just was as happy as can be.
Wait, he got away
So
all the times because it says at the right here on this headliner article that he's still wanted.
yeah, he's still wanted. Yeah, he got away both times.
What is he, like, greased up? He's just slipping out of the
No,
grass
they
to these people?
They said they straight up said keep that video going because there's a thing I want to cut back to when it comes up. They straight up said he got out of the pool because the security guard asked him to, and they asked him not to leave, and he just walked away and left.
I love how the guy their interviewer was talking about how good his form was.
Yeah.
Like you brought up, he was like, it was a great back dive, and then he backstroked out to the
So-
middle of the.
So here he is. He's crawling up, and the security guard's like, "Okay, come out." So he gets up and trolls him. He just fucking dives back in.
Canada's
What?
relaxed, man.
What a fucking hero, straight up. The thing is, like, dude, if this was in America, that guy would have gotten the bro down beat
He's like
down.
signing.
Right.
There was a little clip there. He was like signing autographs.
Yeah, like everybody who was at the place seemed to be digging it, you know?
I mean, you can't be mad at the dude.
Maybe
I mean, I don't think he went in there and like beat up the sharks or anything. He just.
Well, he clearly worked on his form.
yeah, could you imagine just like, "Oh, daddy, look it."
Slapping his wiener on the shark.
Could you imagine being the shark
No.
and just be like, your dignity's been taken away?
Like, I'm about to get so much shark money.
You're just like, yeah, he's gonna fucking charge him for sexual assault.
And I mean, do you really think the aquarium's super mad? There's a lot of free press.
For sure.
Oh, they should start staging that shit now. It's gonna be like some semi-pro shit. They're gonna bring out the guy who played Niedermeyer in Animal House and shoot him across the ice and to hit bowling pins.
You're gonna have some big mascot costume that's naked.
Yeah.
Little plushies. Of
It's
a
like-
naked guy.
It's like could you imagine that fucking
Bobbleheads for sure.
Bubble dick.
a fucking mascots are basically furries. It'd be a furry, but it's a human dude.
Just really feel like myself now.
Oh, look at that guy.
Got a great picture. And everything.
Yeah, right. Winning smile.
Yeah.
Missing teeth.
Oh, really?
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he's not smiling with the teeth.
my
I never
people.
smile with teeth.
What a that guy, like you said, he just had a day. Medieval times, the aquarium, like he had a big day, like already scheduled, and he just took it further.
Oh, what a fucking legend. Absolute legend. Fucking cheers to that guy.
Got to find out if it was on the weekend or during the week.
Right?
He took some time off.
Like, hey, this is on a Tuesday.
I
You
bet that's in the
Canadians.
article. I'll take a quick peek here.
Canadians know how to party.
Shortly after 10 p.m., he immediately disrobed. Yeah, I think there's a good chance it's a weekday.
Just having an average weekday here in Canada. Hey, they just legalized the marijuans.
Yeah.
Good for them, Canada. Good for you. And what I really like is that they're retroactively helping people expunge their previous
As
crimes.
you should. As you really should if you're going to remove it from legal recourse.
I think there's something in California for that too, because I had read it in a comment on the story for Canada legalizing it earlier. I think there's some sort of program in place to help people expunge their previous offenses, and just like the aspect that in California, pretty much everybody already assumes that you smoke pot. It doesn't really matter unless you're like a truck driver or involved in construction, because they're still liable for that shit. But then it's just like, it's the same as being drunk on the job. The only thing with that is the way they test weed, it shows up like a month later. They need like a newer way to test for like if you are stoned in that.
That's
like,
what the blood
instant.
test is for.
Is it?
Yeah. The blood test has a shorter window. Like the piss test is 2 weeks. The blood test is a couple hour window.
Like if you fuck up at work, they can be like, oh, it was in his system right then, or...
Right. And then they can like fuck you out of workman's comp.
Oh, yeah.
Fire
Yep.
you.
It's not a good look.
Go to jail if you hurt somebody. No good. I grew up in California, and people were growing weed in their backyard in the 90s. So I'm surprised it took so long to go fully legal there.
Well, it was like hot off the fucking 80s, fucking Reagan's like war on drugs and shit like that.
Real question is, how much of a boon do you think Canada's economy is going to get off of it?
We'll see. What if they just all... What if it just turns into fucking post-apocalyptic dystopia?
Yeah, and then you get a bunch of people just like, we told you so.
Yeah, fucking Reagan comes out of the grave and he's like, well, I told you so.
Session's gonna come out. Oh, now they're listening to swing music. No good.
Oh, man, what a kook.
For sure.
I can't believe that even in like the older crowds that there's still people like that guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's all stigma and fucking... It's
Prohibition.
like guilt.
Prohibition doesn't work.
For sure.
Like, worse shit comes out of prohibition to skirt around the technicalities of the law.
Like moonshine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And toilet booze.
And NASCAR.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I think the guy that...
Think about it like that. We would not have fucking NASCAR if there wasn't prohibition, and we wouldn't have all those people to deal with.
Deal with.
Hey, if NASCAR's your thing, like, more power
Nah,
to you.
I'm
just
not a
talking shit. I know, it's so boring, but apparently there's a lot to it. I like how we just went from, like, fucking...
Like the party in the middle of the track. That's where it's all. That's what
Right.
it's all about.
Dude, my uncle does that shit. He rents out like I don't remember what the price was, but him and his buddies all go down there like the week before Indy 500 and chill, and
It's like
That's their
Woodstock
thing.
in there, man. It's madness. Miami Beach ain't got shit on the inside track, dude. It's crazy in there.
I like how we went from, like, a naked dude swimming in a shark tank to fucking legalizing marijuana to shitting on people who like NASCAR.
equal levels of thrill.
Right? Fucking, that'll be the new Canadian rodeo. Fucking nude shark tank divers. How long can you last before he bites your pecker off?
Oh boy.
You gotta be brave. You have to get a little nick on your pecker and then jump in so the sharks smell the blood in the water.
How long before USADA gets involved though? Oh, he's testing positive.
Right? You have to implement that fucking rule that they did in basketball for Magic Johnson because everybody was afraid of contracting HIV.
What was the rule?
If you had an open wound and were bleeding, you couldn't be on the court just because of communicable diseases. And I think they kind of established after a while that was bullshit because you don't bleed in, you bleed out.
It's always one person that fucks it up for everybody, though. Trying to play hard, playing some street ball, elbow somebody.
Then you got a broken nose, and then you got to wear that doofy-looking face guard.
Hey man, it's all fun and games till someone loses an eye, and then it's just plain fun.
Plain fun.
What we got on the docket next here?
A man shot trigger in his own booby trap.
Oh yeah, this is an old guy, I think. And
Like, I'll let you give me the premise of the story, but I actually had a conversation with somebody at work about a guy wanting to make a booby trap for his home.
go for it. This guy was basically like 68, I think, and he set a booby trap on a gun, rigged it up to his back door, so in case somebody tried sneaking in his back door, it would go off. So they speculate he went out to like feed some squirrels or some shit in his backyard and forgot.
Come on.
I mean, really though, going out in the back to feed squirrels.
That's what he was saying.
You think he had the boxing glove on the front door? Some innovative shit.
Captain John Wright of the sheriff's office said, "I've never seen anything quite like this."
You know? So did that fucking fake sheriff in the fucking real human centipede story. This sounds way more believable, though.
But this actually relates to a story that I was told at work by a coworker who was stuck working with an individual around a similar age group who, while working together, was continuous. He's like a prepper. Not necessarily a doomsday prepper, but like a worst case scenario prepper. And he was talking about adding a booby trap to his door of his cabin up north. And while this guy was telling me the story, I said the exact same thing he responded to him with, which was, you're going to forget about it and you're going to end up blowing your own, you're going to end up hurting yourself. Which is exactly what happened to this guy. And then we went into...
Oh, it didn't happen to him?
No, he didn't set it up because we went into like
The
a
legal
bunch of
aspects
like legal
of it?
aspects of it where it was like if you set it up and you go, let's say you go to run up there with your mom when stuff hits the fan, because that's what he was talking about. He has his cabin up north, and if stuff hits the fan, he's going to take his mom up there and get away from everything. You get up north.
Hey, some zones, even if it does hit the fan, you can't get away from the fallout.
Yeah, but let's say he goes up there. You finally think you got away. Your mom goes in and opens the front door. Oops, you forgot to get rid of the booby trap. Boom.
Swing!
And then he was unbelievable. And then he was talking about, well, maybe I'll just lower it and then put it like at like shin level. I was like, well, then you walk through the door and you blow your own leg off. Like you can't. It's too dangerous. You got to go with the boxing
The
glove.
fuck are you gonna do? 127 hours crawl your way out of that situation?
You got to go with the boxing glove. At least you'll just be knocked unconscious.
Boof. No, get a fucking shotgun and just bang comes out of it.
You were warned.
Don't booby trap your doors.
Yeah, don't booby trap shit, people. Like, I think there was some YouTube prank guy, and he was trying to, like, he would put together fake videos, but he had this thing about, like, rigging his bike, that if it was stolen, that it would, like...
Electrocute him?
Yeah, it would
Is it the
trigger
guy
a
that does all the
taser.
electrical stuff and he just shocks himself?
Oh, Electro Boom? No.
Oh, that guy's fun.
That
What
guy's
is that?
fucking great. I think he's Iranian, is the guy with the unibrow that fucking, he was like, I'm going to show you today how to make electric guitar. And he's like an actual electric engineer, but he like fucking...
Fake shocks himself, basically. Continues.
Well, he actually shocks himself all the time. After a while, I've seen electricians in the fucking wild. After a while, they just stop giving a shit. I remember this fucking...
But not all of them on his channel are.
Yeah, not all of them are real. A lot of them need fucking die. But he did like make a fucking like homemade taser once out of like a nail and some like shit, and like he would just be, you could see it arc to his like finger. There was like no faking it. But I've seen electricians just like, you watch them work and then they just keep going on like they just like nothing fucking happened, because I'm sure it happens all the time. That is like, it seems like it would be really interesting to tinker with that stuff, but I'm not about to put myself at risk of fucking electrocuting myself in somebody's fucking walls.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for your heart to get messed up.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's a very small risk reward there.
Don't they get paid good? Or don't they?
Is the union?
I don't know.
Probably pays good. I don't know about.
Can't pay that great. A guy left my job to become an electrician, and then he just came back this year. So I can't pay that great.
What type of YouTube money is he making from shocking himself, though?
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
A lot. Like,
Well, I think he's an electrical engineer too, right?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure. I would not be surprised if like he was making good money as an electrical engineer before and then quit.
To be a YouTube star.
Because he gets a lot of play, and he's gone past like, he came out of like being comic about that, and he gradually started like being more informative whilst continuing to shock himself, and then recently he's gone into like
I don't like shocking myself anymore.
YouTube is incentivizing people who are making educational content, so he's actually started to like go over like the 101 of electrical engineering. But like that shit's always interesting, and he's just like a cool personality.
Yeah. I've only really seen the videos of him, hooking up clamps to his nipples and just taking the voltage right to the dome.
I have to look into it.
Yeah, Electro Boom.
Electro boom.
Good content right there, man.
His comment sections are always funny too. It's always just like, this guy's so stupid. It's like, you don't even whoosh.
Right?
Oh, and that's a bad miss.
New Hampshire.
Oh, this one.
Endangerment accusations? Is he making kids fight or?
No, but we did have that on a story I don't think we ever actually went into. But that's too old now. We need fresh stories. Only the freshest. Get me Spider-Man, damn it! So this was a story of a teacher who apparently made a 6-year-old girl climb into an arcade machine where you win
Claw
like,
machine?
Yeah. Something like that. It was like described as a machine that you control an arm to cut strings, and they're like
What?
they're like valuable electronic prizes.
Nix that. Just say it's a claw
Yeah,
machine.
something like that. So yeah, basically a claw machine, but like more valuable shit. And
Okay, so like the ones they have at Marcus where it's like the turnstile and you can maybe get a VHS.
Yeah.
That's some high technology.
So he has this 6-year-old young child that can fit through the door, crawl up inside and grab all the fabulous prizes. And a couple of teenagers caught him like doing this on their cell phones and then went to security and told on him. But I don't know if they actually caught him in the act, but there's a quote in there that
He
there was,
resigned from his job.
Yeah,
okay,
he did.
So
there,
okay, I have the items that were stolen too.
yeah, which was what I thought was funny about it. Read those items that were stolen onto the machine.
Nintendo DS valued at $100. Nintendo Switch valued at $300. That's it. There must be more.
Dude,
That's not even a felony yet.
you know what? Fuck yeah, I'd send a 6-year-old in the goddamn claw machine to grab a Nintendo Switch. Would you?
It's life
Probably, and then
life
I'd just be like,
lessons
I didn't tell her to do that. I didn't tell her to do that.
Yeah, I'd be like, get out, honey. Get out. You're not supposed to be in there.
While you're nodding.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Get
Wait,
out
wait,
of
nudge,
there.
nudge. Say no more, say no more.
Pointing, yeah.
Get that one too. The DS I'd pass on. That was kind of toilet system, even though I don't know why it did so well.
It's just
Handheld 3D, man.
people like the
buy
Nintendo
everything.
stuff, man.
Garbage.
But yeah, it doesn't sound like he's obviously gone to court and through all the litigations and everything, but he did resign from his job over it.
Yep. He voluntarily resigned, one of those things.
The real question though, is this like the end of the year retreat where like you take all the kids to Skateland, or was this
This is
like
at a shopping mall, man.
why are they going there as like a class?
I don't know if it was even with a class, to be honest.
Oh,
But there was apparently there was a little girl in the machine, and there was a 5-year-old boy with him. And once she was getting the goods, this kid was like, "Yeah, that's awesome." Maybe he was doing it for him.
I mean, this is a strong family. I don't.
Maybe it was
hear
just
any
for the
downsides
kids.
Yet.
yeah.
It doesn't even say if it was like you would think it was his kids.
Yeah.
That'd be a little creepy if it was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hey, crawl in this machine and get that Nintendo Switch over there. And then she does it, and she crawls out, panicking, getting stuck on the way out, and then finally gets out. She thinks she's going to get this. She's just like, yoink. See ya, suckers. It's like taking candy from a baby.
They had a getaway on the escalator too.
Yeah.
Standing still.
Yeah, could you imagine that chase? Like the cops are right behind them, and they're up there, and they're not. Neither of them are running. They just stop on the escalator.
That's a Family Guy skit waiting to happen.
Oh, God.
Rude. Don't bar Seth MacFarlane. He could pick us up one day.
Oh, shit. Wrong sample.
It's treason, then.
I like this where this article's going because I've seen some of those. There's always those pictures on Reddit of people sticking their feet over in other people's areas, and they're always gross. They have like black toenails and stuff. But this next story: Southwest flight makes emergency landing after passenger allegedly plays unwanted game of footsie.
Yeah.
To the side or like from behind?
I'm picturing from behind, and then somebody's just like, "Get your foot out of my mouth."
They were sitting next to each other. They were fucking sitting next to each other, and apparently they were watching videos on the lady's laptop. And this guy thought she was coming on to him.
They were watching them together, or he was just like, "Oh, you're watching Netflix, and I'm gonna lean over."
I don't know.
Okay.
But I think it was they were sitting together. But this guy had, once he was apprehended, it came out that he had overdosed on heroin a couple days prior and was coming down off of methamphetamine. So basically this guy got told to, leave this lady alone by the lady, and he told her not to fuck with him. And then he was like seated someplace else and then tried to reapproach her with alcohol. He bought her a drink.
You want some booze?
Listen, I know I made
It's
a
the
bad
Klingon way, man.
He's not a quitter. I'll tell you that much.
But there's a quote in there about how he went from like 0 to 60 real quick.
0 to 60 nanoseconds, the complaint says. I like how they specified nanoseconds, too.
Yeah, I think somebody tried to like calm him and he just like started fucking bouncing off of the walls like Daffy Duck. So they had to fucking do an emergency landing because of this guy.
What, they couldn't just restrain him in one of the like flight attendant seats?
Nah.
Meth's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, he's got that fucking methamphetamine strength, man. And he's just like, I have the power!
Stick like a horse...
He-Man!
Stick like a horse bridle thing in his mouth so he can't bite anybody, and just strap him down to the flight attendant chair with those like 2.5-inch thick or wide strap downs.
Then it turns out he's into pony play.
He's a brony.
People dress up like horses and trot around.
Yeah.
That's wild stuff.
That's that actually seems pretty mild compared to like some of the
other shit we've seen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lay it on me.
Oh, that fucking diaper guy, man. hands
Yeah,
down.
The baby
That's
fetish, yeah.
I mean, at least those people are like, the having fun in their own stables, basically. This guy was fucking calling like carekeepers into like, you got to change my diaper.
Yeah, he was feigning mental illness, and claiming that he needed caregivers. And that's when you brought up, how did he was choosing what caretakers he got.
Yeah. Oh, right. The fucking like the Tinder of caregivers where you get to like swipe left and right for your caregiver. That's going to be us when we're old in the nursing homes. Just like, I don't like it.
Next.
I like this boy. So they had to make an emergency landing. I forget where, but he faces up to 20 years in prison and like a $250,000 fine.
That's
for
mostly
one charge.
That's mostly because of making the plane land, though.
Yeah.
It's not just for the footsie.
They're not fucking around. Yeah. Fuck the footsie and the fucking meth rage, man. Like, they care about those dollars, man.
That's right.
It's not even that it's a potential act of terrorism or some scare like that. It's like, it costs a lot of fucking money to put a plane in the air.
Resisted the marshal.
I mean, wouldn't you?
You're going down.
I love how it just says he allegedly admitted. So he's just like, yeah, I did heroin on Sunday, and I did meth yesterday in the interview with the police.
Could you imagine being that guy's lawyer? He just
Like,
reads it. He's like,
Public defender.
right.
Loosens his tie. God damn it.
Oh, man. Yeah, you get a public defender in that case, I would think. I don't think, like in civil cases, you don't get a public defender or something like that.
Really? I thought you're, no matter what, you're allowed to, you have a right to an attorney.
No, there's certain cases where you will be appointed an attorney. I think that's for like criminal cases, but if it's a civil case for money,
Money is in like white collar crime.
yeah.
Who cares about that? You're like,
No,
Matt's
not even
getting
white
2
collar
years.
crime. Like civil can be like anything to deal with money, really. Don't quote me on that shit. I'm not a fucking lawyer, god damn it.
You don't know about the justice system, in and outs,
Nope.
the legal system, I should say.
Everybody else seems to. You don't.
You want to be that fucking guy getting drug out of the fucking Brewers game drunk, just going on about the fucking First Amendment.
I thought this was America.
Those are always like the most painful thing to watch. It's like, what about the Constitution? Oh, this is the Constitution, this is America. Just slurring their words. It's like, sir, I should arrest you for slurring. For slurring the First Amendment. Is it the First Amendment that's freedom of speech?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should know this stuff.
Oh, do you know all the fucking amendments?
No, why would I? Freedom of speech, guns.
Yeah, that's all everybody.
I know the 13th because Kanye was bringing it up last week.
Oh, I know the 5th.
Yeah,
Plead the 5th.
Don't have to say shit. No, I should probably get up to speed on that.
Why, you plan on getting arrested after you beat the fuck out of somebody at a hockey game?
No.
Gonna do some meth, get on a plane.
Yeah, some aggressive footsie over probably somebody's DS streaming Netflix or
When
whatever.
you said it like that, dude, that sounds like the fucking PlayStation 1 game that's going to come out in the 90s. Aggressive footsie. Fucking Dave Mira's aggressive footsie. Oh, didn't he die?
Dave
oh,
Mirra?
yeah, Dave Mira passed away, I think.
I'm not sure.
Remember Dave Mira? The fucking
The
BMX guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did die 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's like, oh man, I love his video games.
Remember, I wanted an action figure that he put out one time real bad, and my dad got it for me for my birthday, but he didn't give it to me until the very end, and he gave me like a couple little action figures, and then he said, I got one more present for you. It's in my back pocket. So I put my hand in his back pocket, and he farted.
Classic.
And then I was like, man, this mother shit. And then he gave me the Dave Mira.
Was it action figure?
Yeah.
The fuck was it?
With a little BMX bike and a helmet.
Like a little fucking
It was like after the craze of tech decks.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
oh, a little
Yeah, the
finger bike.
BMX,
yeah.
Little Schwinn. You gonna go
Yes.
play with your Schwinn?
Yeah.
So,
About
yeah,
6
banana
inches tall.
Man, Tech Decks was just difficult.
Dude,
me.
fucking tech decks are dumb, but like
People really got into those, though.
handboards are wild, man. There's like professional handboarders that can like do like
What's
Is
a
that the
handboard?
bigger
tricks.
ones?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, man. Gonna check out some we gotta be
I know,
careful
I've
with
just never heard of a handboard before.
we gotta be careful with YouTube videos, even just showing video, because last week we got copyright. Not striked, but we got nailed for a copyright for showing literally 10 seconds of Steve Harvey dancing. Without even the audio. to
Steve
that
got us, huh?
Yeah.
Jackass.
Well, could you imagine, like, whoever owns Steve Harvey got us?
Yeah.
Do you see
That man is spoken for.
Do you see the video of that top-heavy woman running down the staircase at him, coming up on stage, and then she just was clearly going to eat shit, and he was like, I'm going to help you, and then just moved out of the way at the last second?
No.
Steve's height.
Too bad. I'd love to put it on here, but, you know, Steve Harvey will zap us.
Yeah, Steve Harvey's out to get you. Don't use my shit.
I don't know. News for me was really streamlined this week because I was so busy. There was that guy that got shot or killed in Saudi Arabia. That's been all over the news.
Oh, is that the one where they had audio of them cutting his fingers off?
Oh,
Something like that?
I haven't heard that development.
Yeah.
Yeah, the journalist, I'm going to butcher this guy's name. Khashoggi?
Yeah, it's like pretty much came out with the current administration's response to it. And by current administration, I should say Trump, because the people in the White House, I don't think, want much to do with him anyways. But it's pretty much come out that he's more concerned with the relationship with Saudi Arabia and the arms deals that we have with him.
I mean, I think a lot of people in the government are in that boat because that's where we get a lot of income and
The
jobs
fucking
from.
thing is, he didn't even try to like save face or like dress it up in any way. He just like came out and said, it's like, yeah, is it really worth like selling these like millions of dollar deals? Okay,
For a journalist getting murdered in an embassy.
here is another video from John Oliver. I watched his take on this thing, and one of the things I thought was kind of funny was he had a video of Trump and who's the leader of Saudi Arabia right now? It's like a prince.
Yeah, the son took over.
Yeah. They basically showed Trump like going over like
Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman.
they had a little meeting, and Trump had like a little card going over like the aircraft carrier, jets. This is what they're buying from him. And he kind of like, in Oliver's words, used the prince as an easel for his card almost. And you can see this fucking guy. He's like, I'm a fucking prince, motherfucker. Like, he really, like, he's just like kind of laughing at it.
Not a good look, though.
No.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty grisly, man. I mean, Saudi Arabia has some, even though they're starting to come around with some like basic rights that have been kind of like women weren't able to drive until very recently. Fucking movies were like, I don't know if they were just like banned or just like really outright restricted, but I heard something being thrown around that one of like the first movies to be shown in like theaters there was the Emoji Movie.
I remember hearing about
Something
that.
like that,
Fucking
Man, that must have bombed.
right? Could you imagine-
I mean that movie still did bomb, didn't it?
they could
bombed.
get Kung Fuhrer.
Terrible.
It is so bad.
So, what was this guy known for, this journalist? You got any info on that?
You know, honestly, not 100% because I've only heard about, you know, everything's been more hung up on what exactly happened. Like you got the detail of key events and stuff in this story, but it's more been about him being killed in the embassy in Saudi Arabia versus his accomplishments over the course of his career. I haven't seen much on that.
I remember now that they had like a closed circuit TV video.
Yeah, there's a
Of
link
him.
to it on here.
Yeah, of basically him walking into the door that he never walked out of.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? I heard he was going to get a marriage license or something, and his fiance was like waiting in the car or something. I don't know if that's true. I just heard it.
And they have
That's pretty much how all of our facts go here. Is like, I don't know if that's true. I just heard it.
Yeah.
Nothing but the facts here, folks.
yeah.
I was in the work truck, and the Republican radio was hitting me with it.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 15-man attack team on him, supposedly. I just don't think, attacking a journalist is a good look.
No, like, it's pretty much like understood, even if you're on a goddamn battlefield, That's why the journalists wear like different colored, like even if they're with somebody and they're traveling with somebody, they wear a different color, something different about them. Some of them straight up wear press, like on their chest, something like that. I was watching some interesting videos about the Ukrainian war.
The most recent one?
Yeah, the one that like started with Russia moving into.
Got to have that
Crimea.
freshwater port, man.
Well, it's also half the state apparently identifies more as like Russian. They're kind of like split. That's why they're having like a civil war, basically. One side kind of wants to join NATO and the other wants to side with Russia. But the big thing was that Russia would not admit to sending troops in, and none of the troops would admit to it. So there was this reporter who put together this really interesting report about you could see that it was Russian troops just by looking at the selfies that they were taking of themselves on their social network. What the fuck? You could identify somebody. Like he zeroed in on one person that kind of lived on the Mongolian border and like looked at him. He had pictures of himself in like
Russian book,
military gear.
Russian Facebook.
Yeah, I forget what it's actually called, but they have their version of Facebook. But he was able to put together that this guy was obviously in the Russian military, and then through geocaching of photos where you're able to see like where a picture was taken, and that like data gets pretty much embedded into the picture.
Here I am with the boys chilling on the Ukrainian border, just having a couple shots of vodka before we go in.
Right.
Yeah.
He was able to like find a picture of him.
Can't wait to meet the locals.
It was basically him on the border, like taking a picture of himself, and then through like timestamps and geocaching, he was able to get linked to similar pictures, which was just a bunch of other Russian soldiers on the Ukrainian border too. And then he was able to go even further with seeing the same individual in a place in the Ukraine, but now all the Russian gear is gone. It was like gone on the border photos too, but he just had like a white band around his arm.
For the pro-Russian.
Yeah, he was basically posing as like a rebel.
Yeah.
So what this guy did was he went in Russia and the Ukraine and took pictures of himself in each of these persons. Like he basically recreated all the selfies, then fucking made an account on this Russian Facebook site and added this guy and like uploaded all the pictures of himself and like called him. And he was like, I added you on this site, like take a look at these pictures, and then like question him about it. And just like comes back, and they were just all told, just deny that you were ever there.
I was just going to ask, so which one of those two disappeared?
Now, this guy actually, the journalist, I don't know if this was before or after, but he ended up getting detained for like a month at the outbreak of the Crimean incident. So it was most likely after, but I remember watching this. Like he ended up getting detained by Russian forces and like interrogated, intimidated for a month.
Slapped around a little bit.
They didn't kill him, at least. They didn't do too much
Unlike
harm to him.
our boy Jamal Khashoggi here. Yeah, most of his articles seem to have been critical of, take a guess, the Crown Prince and the Saudi regime and their influence in what's going on in Yemen. So they didn't like it.
Do you
Can't play-
imagine?
That's a different type of life.
Right.
You can't play around with those people.
Do you imagine like living in a state like that, man?
No.
That's why you got to be ever vigilant. Shit could change like one day.
Oh, for sure.
There's like this principle of like the turnkey that like is commonly referred to in U.S. politics. You basically, at maximum, every 8 years are going to potentially have complete shakeup of politics. So with like current systems that are in place, we know NSA is like gathering data on citizens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's under the guise of being to catch terrorism, even though they've pretty much said we've never caught anybody. Just because when you're spying on everybody,
They really just want to dig up the dirt on if you're into a sexualized mini kiss. Some midget kiss.
like when you have that much dirt on everybody, though, like I think it was Snowden who said when the Boston bombing happened, this is before he became a whistleblower. He basically said, I know that we have data on this, and if we dig it up, we should have saw it coming. But the problem is when you have so much data, you can't catch anything because there's just too much to look for.
Yeah, they got to dial in the computers.
Well, one of his points was,
It's like
And you know
Minority
they're dialing
Report.
them in to look up if you're in a mini kiss or not.
What is mini kiss?
Midget kiss.
Oh boy.
You don't know what mini kiss is?
Nah, man.
Jason's thing that he would always joke around about was like, oh, I beat off to skinning an elk.
Yeah, man, mini kiss.
Oh shit, the actual band Kiss.
Oh, did you hear that big dump we tried to take on Gene Simmons, man?
No.
Yeah.
What did we miss?
Yeah, we basically talked for like 45 minutes about what a womanizer fucking...
He should be dumped on though.
Yeah, dude, he is such a piece of shit. Oh my God.
He's a jerk. Remember when he tried to patent the dollar sign?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
No, it was a money bag with a dollar sign on it. That's what he tried to patent specifically.
He's ahead of the curve. He foresaw emojis.
It's like pictures, but you can send them in text messages.
Dude, and next week we'll finally get our Gene Simmons fucking eggplant emoji. It'll be Gene Simmons with the eggplant stuffed down his fucking
For real?
face. No.
I don't know.
Right? I was just like, what is this?
I stopped at the.
I thought it was gonna be a-
Smiley with sunglasses.
It's
That's
gonna
where I
be-
stopped.
It's going to be Gene Simmons long tongue face
On a
emoji.
Eggplant?
No, and then there's going to be Gene Simmons because Gene Simmons obviously has the biggest penis in the world, and all the ladies want to, all 4,000 of them want to fuck him.
I thought that was Nikki Sixx.
Stuff in his crotch or whatever. Gene Simmons had a cod piece, man. He was very serious about his cod piece in that interview with what's her face?
I'm unfamiliar
That
with
lady.
all this shit.
That's funny. We're terrible.
That NPR lady.
Terry Gross.
Yeah, Terry Gross.
Can you pull up a picture of the codpiece?
Gene Simmons with the cod piece.
Oh yeah, dude.
All I can
Jason-
think of is Metalocalypse
That's
with the
the
cod
only
piece.
time I've ever heard that term.
Yeah, cod piece, man. It's a thing that protects your goods, man.
I don't have swag.
Here it is, man. Gene Simmons cod piece.
Oh, let's get some larger images here.
You
Got to
would
get the right tools.
just
here.
make sure you don't accidentally put a big old dick up here. Is that a cat? No, it's an arm.
There's
all right.
somebody recreating one for a costume. There you go. That's not...
Ah, God.
Is that Gene?
I think that's an action figure.
It's hard to tell.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
Serious
It's covered.
business, dude.
Why don't we go into pictures?
I'm game for that.
All right. So we did this with Dave Tarantino, and by the way, shout out to Dave Tarantino. He was a guest about a month ago on the show. He was talking about this contest he was in. He fucking
To Be a Better Band Academy, and then
last band standing.
Yeah, and his band Monorail Central.
Yep, Monorail Central and Dave Tarantino. Shout out to you guys because they ended up winning that contest. They're going to be flying out to, or not flying. They're going to be traveling out. I don't know if they're going to fly. Whatever, get on a magic carpet, go wha-bam, and instantly be
fucking I Dream a Genie.
Yeah.
Oof.
They're going out there to produce some music with Joey Sturgis and get like a press package put together for them. And hopefully this is going to be...
Yeah, man, they're going to be playing the Super Bowl next year.
Right?
They each get a Gene Simmons patent.
Hopefully this is going to be the leg up that dude deserves, man, because that dude deserves his success, man. So congratulations to them.
Congrats.
So what we did with Dave is what we're about to do with Jason is we did a little deep dive on his Facebook and did a little hot ones, just stole their bit when they pick out their Instagram photos or whatever.
So
Except there's no pain here, so we're gonna have Jason.
What's going on in this picture? Your feet are in a bucket.
Well, I couldn't afford socks for a very long time.
Hey, get your mouth right up on there.
Despite what you may hear, the touring lifestyle is not glamorous or lucrative. And I would be staying with Doug when I would come home from tour. I actually lived in this space where this podcast is happening right now.
Yeah, like literally in
Right
this
here.
corner.
Oh, that sucks. I had the master bedroom when I was here.
Yeah. I wasn't here long enough.
That's because he was paying rent.
Yeah. I was just doing the dishes.
Yeah, well, he was doing dishes and buying Dragon Ball Z Season 2 DVDs.
Yeah, I had the plug. But I had some fucking ruthlessly smelling feet, and I was
Boot
known
foot real bad.
Oh yeah, I
Dude.
was known for it for a while.
Yeah, he would not wear socks in his shoes and shit. And like,
People think it's cool to be poor, but it's really not. And then it just only affects your friends in negative ways. And so Doug made, I don't remember what the complete concoction was.
let me
but-
preface this. Somebody else was here.
It's lacquer thinner.
Yeah, something, dude.
Somebody was staying here too at the same time. I think it was Sean Small.
Yeah.
So I had walked out of my room and the stench just immediately hit me. My entire house basically smelled like Cheeto toes, something like that. And I was like,
Times
something
10.
must be done. Sean came out. He was like, oh, God. So we like looked up like home remedies. And I think it was like a concoction of like vinegar and coffee grounds and water, some shit like that.
Tomato paste and oatmeal and shit.
And I was known as Bucket Feet for a little bit.
No, basically, as soon as Jason woke up, we sprung it on him. It was like, you're putting your feet in this bucket. There's nothing you could do about it. But it worked.
It did work.
Yes.
I'm pretty much a down for anything type of person, so
So he caught this
it
little
worked
candid.
out.
I ended up putting that picture, go back to that picture once. I ended up using that on like a fucking, a song that I wrote and named it Bucket Feet. And fucking Jason was just like, it's like, God damn it, you put that shit up on the internet and now I got pictures of me with my feet in a goddamn bucket.
I appreciate it, though. You see the true, like the genuine love for you in the picture.
Right? Look at those eyes.
Yep. See if I can get a zoom in on that. Picture quality's degrading a little bit.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, this was like original iPhone photograph, man.
Yeah, you can't just have that seamless CSI Miami enhance.
Look at that fake fur rug, man, dude. That hair was
That thing
everywhere.
destroyed vacuums.
Sick, dude.
It was a vacuum killer.
All right.
Whoa.
Relaxed position in the face of things, though.
So, do you recall like where this might have been specifically?
I do. It was in Puerto Rico, and that was a shout out to Henry Roy and Robbie Roy for bringing me down there. You guys were very cool. Henry brought a bunch of bands down for his son's birthday, and we were hanging out playing. That's where I met Sean from Putrid Pile, and we just smoked a bunch of weed and drank tequila in a hotel resort bathtub all night.
Nice. Curdle your sperm.
Hey.
Puerto Rico.
There was a rule at the resort that you could only get 2 drinks at once. You weren't allowed to just get one.
Oh, I thought it was like the other way. You couldn't
Yeah, you
get
could only
3.
get 2 max.
Oh, no.
No, you had to get 2.
This is a fucking good time.
You got to be shithoused.
Yeah. No excuses.
Man,
But it
that's
was pretty cool. It was like cattle decapitation, us, Thick as Blood, the hardcore band played.
Now, when you say us, like our listeners don't know who us
Who are
is.
you?
I was formerly in Oceano, and yeah,
Man, cattle
I was probably saying,
decapitation.
feed me there.
I was gonna ask: is the fucking lead singer of Cattle Decapitation? Is he as insane as people made him out to be?
He's a really chill dude.
Okay,
Yeah,
new
he
albums
makes
were
like
so
the
good.
wacky faces and shit.
That's not what I was talking about. Like some people had like said that he like wrote some of his like lyrical content based on like voices he would hear in his head and shit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I never got too deep with them. They didn't like us for a long time because we were the new-
deathcore. They were
yeah, death to false metal, you know. But
That shit's such bullshit.
yeah, it's who's like a bigger dork than who. I mean,
like-
I fucking have loved Cattle Decapitation since I was like a teenager, so nothing but love for them. But
Their
Yeah,
new
we-
stuff's really good.
hell yeah,
We saw them together at Robot Mosh Fest
Yeah.
when it was in West Bend or something. I think it was a
At that
roller
skate
rink.
rink,
Yeah.
I had a
What a great
Cattle
time.
Decapitation sticker on my bike. It said "Toss my salad, I'm a vegetarian."
Oh yeah, that was one of their things. They were
Yeah,
like
they're-
a veggie band, right?
Yeah.
That show, fucking Jason during an End of Flesh.
Oh yeah,
He fucking stage dove. Nobody caught him. Fucking hit his head hard on the ground.
that was I think what was that dude's? I don't remember that dude's name, but he like
Harrell? We don't know.
No. It was like somebody dove from the other side of the stage and hit like took out the people that I was gonna go towards
Oh.
like right before I went there. So then I was just like, what? In
Just
the air.
belly
Yeah.
up.
Did Jazz from Fresh Prince. Hit the ground.
And then this one chick like brought him aside and just like, oh, get him some bananas. He needs some potassium. It'll help with a concussion. I'm a nurse.
Shout out to her.
Did it help?
I don't know. I just remember going home and Matt Syme came over to my house because he wouldn't let me go to sleep because he didn't want me to die. So shout out to Matt too.
Yeah, fuck going to a hospital. Just
Who had
Stay awake
insurance,
for
though?
48 hours. Yeah. All right, next one.
Ooh. Let's talk about how I'm always at the cusp of fashion.
oh, we got one in there for that, man. But you remember particularly? Are you like annoyed or something? You just wake up?
Nah, I was probably just chilling.
No, you just have resting bitch face.
Yeah, I get it a lot.
Bet somebody.
I'd be pissed. I have to sit in back all the time.
That's
Oh,
the
that was great.
That's the thing. When you're touring as a small band and you're in a van, that sucks.
Yep.
Like,
Especially with his feet.
You got no idea, dude.
dude, remember Boozer?
Yeah.
Man, one time we were in the van and he was in the back and he gave somebody like a pressed fruit bowl on the freeway.
What is that?
It's where you stick your ass up against the fucking window instead of like opening the window to like let it hang out.
Fruit bowl
yeah.
or a fruit basket. So you'd showing ass and balls.
I don't know. I didn't see it. But he was all the way in back. He fucking just like pressed up in the window. You could smell his fucking ass.
Tour's dirty, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Tour is
Being in a
filthy.
van, there's nothing fun about it.
There's lots. Once you get into Texas and you're there for a week and you sit in like a chair that somebody had been sitting in, within the hour you smell like them. Like your smells like melded together.
That's why you have all these fucking gnarly death metal bands. You have names like Dying Fetus, Cattle Decapitation, Cannibal Corpse. Although a drastically different style of music, Texas in July. Like, why?
that's
Because
real.
it's so fucking brutal.
It sucks. We played a show outside one time on the Thrash and Burn tour in 2009, and the sun was facing us. So I'm just getting burnt as I'm playing. That was no fun.
Just fucking
Just picturing
sizzling.
like a Indiana Jones face melt.
Yeah.
It's like, ah! Terrible.
Texas in July played on that one show that you were at the rave where like me, DS, Luke Kenny came and me and Luke got kicked out.
Oh yeah.
It was some like bogus tour it was like a summer teen tour package.
Yeah.
None of the other bands were like you. And
no, that was a bad time.
you had like pantomiming bands on that.
Yeah, it was like that was a Scream It Like You Mean It tour in 2012, and it was like us, the Acacia Strain, and Impending Doom, and then like the bands that pertain to like 15-year-old girls. So
Right.
you'd have like the like bald-headed 40-year-old dudes smash drunk, like beating up the little kids, and then little girls jumping up and down. So we were very out of place. And that
Interesting
was not fun.
dynamic.
Yeah.
Funny story. Me and Luke had basically gone to go visit with you.
Mm-hmm.
We felt so fucking out of place. So we went up. We went up to the smoking deck just to get some fresh air.
This one.
All like the teenagers are just like chilling up there, smoking their cigarettes. Yeah, cloves. All the emos.
Yeah. That tour sucked, dude.
The bar was not open, and one of us had like accidentally dumped over just a cup of beer somebody had set down there. So I just like start splashing in it, like just kind of being a jackass. This fucking guy works at the rave, does not look like he does. He's like, okay, you guys out. And like Luke was a little, woo. So he's like, what? Just like getting in this guy's face. So I'm the one who did it and like got us kicked out basically, but he gets grabbed and basically put in a full Nelson and carried out while I follow him. And to all these kids, I'm just like, hey, these guys are kicking us out of the fucking rave for no reason. Everybody say boo! And they all just boo this fucking guy. Felt like a lunchroom hero.
They're always trying to be like WWF wrestlers. I remember when Typhon played there in the bar, and then Miles was moshing to us, and some like two kids, like one came up behind him and like put his shirt over his head like in hockey, and then the two like started to fight him, so I threw the mic at him, and then I started to fight the other kid while we were playing. So I was like in shorts, no shoes, because I was like,
is this the Battle of the Bands one?
Yeah, remember? And I got kicked
you
out
got
before
kicked
we
out.
were done playing.
And then we won.
Yeah.
And you could hear us win from outside. We had to go back outside. Jason's just like out there fucking waiting for us.
Cold as hell.
Oh,
You gotta stick up for your friends.
Right? I fucking had that happen before where you get kicked out of the rave, but your ride's still inside and it's the middle of winter. You were just covered in sweat. So I got nabbed, fucking tossed out, and there's like a group of 20 people in the same situation, just like fucking freezing their ass off, no coat, rides inside, drenched in sweat. We'll just huddle together for warmth.
Sean didn't have to wait, but we went to go see a band that he wanted to see. Got kicked out in the first song. And I was like, well, I didn't actually want to, I didn't really, I had no emotional attachment to what we were going to. I was like, well, I guess I'll leave then.
You gotta follow the rules.
Yeah, like I got kicked out of Six Flags because somebody lit up a cigarette standing next to. Well, I didn't get kicked out, but my ride did. So I paid like $45 plus $45 for my friend to get in to ride the Raging Bull once. And then just get taken to the door. We got through it was like the fucking most expensive fast pass ever because it was early in the morning. We got to get on immediately.
What'd you do after that? Go to Bass Pro Shop?
No, we went to the fucking. It was used to be the Ceres Tower. Then it was then Willis Tower.
I don't know.
It's the Sears Tower in Chicago.
Oh,
they had that fucking like observation deck that you could go stand on, and that is the dumbest fucking thing ever. You wait in line for like 2 hours, and by the time you get there, you just want to fucking leave because you've been waiting so long.
Yeah, that was great. All right, let's get out of here.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah. All right.
This I would pretty much bleed every single night because I enjoyed jumping around, acting like a fool, more so than playing tightly.
Right?
So I still have like scars and shit on my fingertips now, but yeah, I'd bleed pretty much every night.
Why the fingers though?
Because like on the strings.
Yeah, but like how?
Just being a idiot.
You just fucking like punch your strings instead of like pick it.
I grew up in the grindcore scene, so you fucking look like a dipshit.
Hey, man, I was
as
there,
opposed
too.
to right, so you understand it's just about being a dipshit.
And let your grandpappy tell you about his days in the grindcore.
Yeah. Just you could get hit with a bag of shit and somebody's like moshing with razor blades taped in their hand and shit.
Yeah.
It's a
Jesus.
different world. Like, so many people would be in jail if social media existed back then, just from the amount of ruthless ass shit that went down.
It did. It just wasn't as expose as it was now.
For sure. This
This is a
Let's talk
lawnmower
about
race.
this is me fresh off the plane from California. I grew up in Southern California, which you can tell by my extremely tall socks.
Is that how they identify him?
I grew up in a not white area, so I was one of the few white dudes that hung out in my friend group, and that's like the cholo style is like super tall socks, long shorts. I've had these long ass arms for a long time too.
Do you like the full button up flannel too?
I don't do it personally, just because that's like the new. I don't know. You got to try to not be a hipster in today's day and age, or not look hip.
Hey,
Me at least.
Hey, come
What's the
on.
problem? You're not a hipster.
That's what every hipster says.
Oh shit, I don't know, dog. I had a pretty good Tasmanian devil shirt. That was my brother standing next to me. He had a lot of style with the Penny
Yeah,
Hardaway jersey matching with his cast.
Oh, I didn't notice that he has a fucking cast on it.
Yeah.
This picture doesn't even have pixels, man.
So
I
what's
mean,
the, what's the
this is-
story with the lawnmowers? That you guys like souping them up or what?
No, we were just getting taught the value of hard work. And my dad was like, "Yeah, these are my boys."
It's like some fucking
Captain
soccer
Morgan,
poses, man.
Captain Morgan, the lawnmowers.
Yeah. Yeah, my dad is an interesting fellow.
Does he still live up the street?
Yeah.
That's the fucking funny part. Like, he lives like not even a mile from here. It fucking I don't know how, but I think I was at the it's Rock Country now.
The
But,
bar up there?
Yeah, but I was like at I was at that place was when it was still an MMA bar, and fucking saw him in there with his like girlfriend, wife, whatever, and
Wife, yeah.
yeah, he'd be like, "Hey, Doug, why don't you call me up ever? We'll have a barbecue." And he's not in there drinking or anything because he doesn't drink. He's just
No,
like, so he's having an orange juice or some
Yeah,
shit.
he's drinking them like the sugar-free monsters that are only for girls. There's he's about those, dude. He loves those. Or the blue one. Shout out to him for being sober though.
You like the sugar-free ones?
Yeah,
The white cans?
yeah, with the blue.
The light blue Red Bulls.
Is this the show with the 15-year-old girls you guys were talking about?
No, this is the last show I actually played with Oceano. I was staying home from tour because I had injured my neck pretty bad, so I was trying to
From thrashing?
Yeah, I had the bang over. So I was trying to make the responsible decision and like handle my body. So I stayed home from that tour, but I played the Milwaukee date, and this was that day. It was the Wisconsin Metal Fest, I believe, in 2013.
Oh, is that the Eagles ballroom or is that? Yeah.
Or not the Eagles, I believe that's just the rave.
Is it just the rave?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just the rave.
just the rave, I guess.
Man, that
was
place
always
can be super killer or super bunk.
For sure. It just depends on if the sound guys care that day. At this point, we were lucky enough to be able to like afford a sound guy that traveled with us, but that was always it's like you're flipping a coin. Like, is today going to be fun or not? Because you're either going to sound like
You're supposed to, or
only guitar.
Like a wet fart.
Or, yeah. I kind of like the wet fart thing. Back to the grindcore scene for all you youth.
This guy looks a little. If you could.
He's like, he
This guy,
wants
right?
to participate.
He's there with his daughter.
Yeah, he wants to participate, but he's like,
Yeah,
what's
this one
up
right
with
here?
all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Dad,
I don't understand
put your
it,
hand
but
up,
you
Dad.
can like what you want.
Yeah. I'm just here to party.
little pick going on there?
Yeah, I think Asking Alexandria played this show as well, so they might have been there for them.
What a weird matchup.
Dude, it's cool that people are like mixing things and it's not like the exclusive like subgenre like super dork mindset, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same point, it was not the world for us.
Right.
It's cool to get the exposure for that different type of thing, but not fun to be there. It's like having your metal band play the talent show at school. You're like, yeah, I'm playing at my school. And everybody's like, shut the fuck up, dude. We don't like this bullshit.
Now, this photo could not get away with
Us
from.
and I Built You First and
What was the
Big
other one?
Kahuna
Yeah, the
and
Big
Halloran. Shout out to Derek.
Now, Stefan, can you find Jason?
I was wearing an Oceano shirt. Shout out to Willie.
Yeah, he's just like in this bed chilling
Is this David?
with like two
Yeah.
girls. He's got two girls just on each side. He's like under the covers too.
I have to preface it. I wasn't under the covers with these girls.
Well, yeah, but for the photograph, there was
Yeah, it was funny.
I always got shit because I was the only one who didn't get the memo that we're supposed to wear black
Yeah, I was
t-shirts.
just gonna say Doug with the color.
You were always wearing some Zoo York or some like BC.
I was wearing whatever I could
He's a
get.
skater boy.
I was wearing for what I could get on the cheap from fucking TJ Maxx, man.
There you
Or
go.
Kohl's, yeah.
I understand the struggle. I had some G Unit.
Some FUBU.
Yeah, I had a FUBU sweater.
Yeah, wear it. Because when Bathing Ape was cheap.
Dude, straight up, man. Like, I couldn't wear band t-shirts, man, because I'm 6'2". Like, none of that shit fits. Those Gildan t-shirts,
Yeah.
they don't
Where they
fit
have
us
like
fucking
the
tall
small
freaks.
torso.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that fucking is right up my alley. Because for those that don't know, I crushed my spine when I was 16 when I fell off a cliff. And I
Fell
got
off
This guy
a
just
bluff.
likes diving off
bluff.
stuff.
Hey, man, you gotta send it. Not to be that guy, but you gotta take the risks in life. But so now I've got a short torso and like all types of range.
I just wanted it for the rev.
There you go.
Oh man, no, the Gildan ones don't work for me. Those new Roland sweaters or whatever work for me though.
I just bought this the other day and I had to wash it because it like was legit a dress.
Yeah, the all that shit runs large.
Yeah.
Dude, if I buy like something like that from the store, I have to buy it oversized and then re-sew the sides just to like fit it.
There you go. It's crafty.
I got a Hawks one from old time hockey. That thing fit me like a dress.
Then you
It's-
got-
That's kind of like the
It's all
look though, like
blown out now.
baggy and shit.
I
and-
just
blown
noticed
out.
you got a little skull shirt on there. Do you like skulls, Stefan?
Are you brutal?
Yep. So brutal. All right. What's the next one?
Oh man, this is when I hit the lottery of Burger King fries. Shout out to Snake Bites.
Who is that fucking little kid? There was also a picture of him. He got like a chicken nugget that looked like a pecker, and he was just holding it by his cock. What was that kid's name?
Carlo.
Yeah,
Picchia.
Carlo.
I haven't seen or talked to him in forever, but hope he's doing good. And that was a good picture.
Dude,
You
we
got
were
a wiener nugget?
we were young. We were like I was 19.
I
You're
was
like
probably,
18.
Yeah, 17 or 18.
Fucking still living with Papa Gijo.
Oh yeah. What a good time.
Good time, dude. I remember you did the vegetarian thing, then I think you tried doing the vegan thing,
Oh yeah.
and you had fucked up, like you were basically like anemic.
Oh, for
from
sure.
it. So you would just put so much salt on your shit, and that's the excuse. You'd be like, dude, I'm anemic. I need the iron.
Yep.
I'm cold all the time. I need sodium.
Egg-free noodles is not a way to live, kids.
No.
Do some research.
Oh, look at how happy you are.
Look at me. Just
That's
living
just
it.
absolute nirvana.
This was in Australia. Shout out to Harley. He was on tour with the band Aversion's Crown, who was on tour with us.
I was gonna say Morenstein from Epic Mealtime.
Nope. No, but this was I spent a lot of my later time in Oceano trying to lighten the mood of things and trying to kind of convey how silly the anger and the negativity in that world is. Just because, like, you hit a chord and you watch the whole crowd of people go, like fucking instantly mad. And it's like, you're here to have a good time. And I get that people got to, like, vent and let that shit out. But it was like, I'm just making these people mad. You know what I'm saying?
The funny thing about that is, like, Adam being this, like, scary frontman guy, he's, like, the biggest teddy bear in the world.
For sure.
It's just like a gentle giant. But yeah, you look like a Stone Jesus theory.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
I've been Jesus a couple times for Halloween.
reminds me of the Feel So Good Chuck Mangione album cover.
Didn't you get some people out of a ticket dressed as Jesus one year?
No, well...
Like, you don't have to name names or anything like that. Like, we usually...
Jesus broke up a fight in Germantown in the middle of the night. It was Halloween, and it was about 2:45 at night, and some people were being drunk on Halloween, and my buddy was being drunk on Halloween, and I was always just kind of like... I would never, like, drink and, like, go out and drink at the bar or anything, so I would... Not that I was straight edge or anything, but I just like always like to observe the situation. And I ended up having to pull him out of a stupid situation. And the cops pulled up, and they were real bummed when sober Jesus was like, all right, guys, I got this. I'm taking him home. Like, no worries. Bless you. I'm out. But yeah, we killed it that year. He was dressed up as a priest. I was Jesus. We're keeping it biblical in this bitch.
Ah, Sydney.
Oh, yeah. This was a cool thing for me. I did a lot of things I never thought I'd be able to do, ever. And this was a cool, super duper cool thing for me. And I was super tan because that was the summer that I was roofing. But then I think, like, the day before this, or this day, I had sprained 2 muscles in my neck. So then I was getting over-the-counter codeine in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were fucking about it. So I think I was looking pretty tense there from my neck being all hurt. But funny story about that, I forgot that I had the codeine pills in my bag, and I flew back to America, and I flew through China. Like, we had to stop there and then fly back. And I got home, and I was like, ah.
I was gonna say, "Ooh," and I boofed him.
Yeah. What is that?
It's where
Shoved 'em up.
it's where you shove the drugs up your ass,
Ah,
not to hide them, to get a better effect.
gotcha. I mean, it's like when the girls would put the alcohol on the tampons in high school and shit. That's some next level shit. But I mean,
Oh, can you imagine
you gotta
fucking
party.
dipping a tampon in some vodka, shoving that up
Some
the
Svedka.
the
Probably
tube
Fleischmann's.
chute? Oof.
People do that though. That's like the people that do Jankum. They like shit in buckets
And then they
save
smell it. Yeah, I remember when
Yeah.
that was all over the news.
Man.
Chocolate Rain had come out, and Jankum was, hey, what happened here?
Yikes.
Oh. This is my wife at the Aztalan Mounds in Aztalan, Wisconsin, which is close to Fort Atkinson. These are the mounds of the Aztalan tribe that they said a race of foreign giant kings had built. And like the people that had settled here after the Europeans came over didn't really know about this stuff until they were like tilling the fields. And then they started finding allegedly like a bunch of giant skeletons and a bunch of like really ancient artifacts that predated the sheet of ice over North America, allegedly. But I am a certified fucking weirdo. I don't really care about anything past like 1995, and I'm just like building up knowledge to become a tour guide at some point. I have an Aztalan Historical Society t-shirt, but there's a lot to look into there. The princess of the tribe had you got to start it, sorry. The princess of the tribe had a dress made out of seashells that they like traced back to the Gulf Sea. And that like rewrote history because they previously thought tribes had no contact from the north to the south. So it's like some people brought these shells up and like bartered with them with this tribe up here. There's like a ton of shit in our backyard here for like ancient sites. People think you got to go to Egypt to see something cool, but there's like tons of shit in America
Right.
and some wild shit.
You're gonna be like that that crazy chick who hangs out by the bronze Fonz and starts telling you Fonzie facts, but she's really just like a homeless lady, a crazy person.
I hope
It's
I
like,
can make a little
and
cash.
could you make me? Well, she asked for money too, so,
Yeah.
so she makes it, man.
Well, shout out to her. Somebody put me in contact with her and the Milverine.
Oh, that guy's back on the prowl again, I heard. He's prowling again.
Searching for that panther.
You're just gonna be
He's got a
down
dog now, too, I heard.
You're just
A
gonna
dog?
Yeah.
Damn, he's growing.
You're just gonna be downtown talking about the Astalan Mountains when you're nowhere near them or anything like that.
I mean, it's like the guy with all the crazy Bible station wagon with like all
Oh, the one with
Bible
like the
verses.
Post-its all
Yeah.
over it. Just like, what are you doing, man? With the loudspeakers. I think he just upgraded his car, too.
But I'm be missing a lot more teeth talking about, do you know what's in the Smithsonian?
Yeah, be hanging out in the museum
Nick Cage must
lobby.
be stopped.
Shout out to his son. He's a metalhead. You remember his son, or he was like paying to have his son play all the opening dates of the Thrash and Burn tour and Summer Slaughter. I think alternate years, but he was paying like all the venues to book his son to like open it up. So he couldn't get on the tour, but he was there.
Was it bad?
It's not the best.
Yeah.
Was he a cool
It wasn't
guy?
as bad as Frank. I didn't talk to him. It wasn't as bad as Frankie Muniz's band. Have you seen that?
Dude,
He's a drummer. He's got some chops.
fucking Frankie Muniz apparently had, I think it was like some strokes or something, and he lost like a ton of his memory. Like apparently he can't even remember being
Malcolm in the middle. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Shit happens.
Ouch! Ooh.
Life is cold, and people need to realize that. Just as cold as
Sir,
the Snack Daddy
I
here.
protest. I am not a merry man.
All right, what
Look
we
at
got
my-
here?
This is me in 6th grade when I first moved here from California. As you can tell by the puka shell necklace.
Puka shells, yeah.
Man, look at that hair.
Just gelled to the max,
This
man.
is right before I got so fat. I was like, not in the best situation ever when I lived in California. And then I moved here and I was like, oh shit, you got food? So I just started putting it on, storing it. My dad would always yell at me because I was like hiding food and shit. But shout out to my dad for making things better.
Is that like stitches on your eyebrow or something there?
No, somebody must have
That's
just,
just a
flipped
problem
through
with the
that page
page.
a lot.
Oh.
Or they hated me. Fuck his hair. I hate that necklace.
Yeah, it looks like print laminate from the other page or whatever. Yeah, it looks like you got some other great stunners in your yearbook page.
Yeah, top row, 3 over. We went to church together. And
Oh
that's
yeah, you
actually-
used to go to church.
Yeah, I was about that life.
We all used to go to church.
You had to.
Yeah, but I was like
I don't-
out immediately afterwards. Like I think you were still kind of into it.
I was searching for peace, looking for things to salve the soul. But I actually played Mario Party and Mario Kart for the first time at this girl's house when I was like 11.
How fun was that?
Very fun.
Yeah.
I went from I think like the only games I had played before that was like Super Mario and Mortal Kombat, and then came here, and they had some games. Shout out to Walker Elementary. Eller.
You're gonna get doxxed, man.
Oh shit. What does that mean?
People are gonna find out where the fuck you're from, find out your information online.
Leave me alone, please. This is when
This is the end of Jesus.
I was growing my hair out for a long time. I think this was 4 years, and then I decided to cut it. I got 21 inches out of it. I donated it to Wigs for Kids, because despite what you hear, a lot of those wig companies charge like the kids that are going through like cancer treatments and shit. But that Wigs for Kids company is completely free to the children, so you should only donate to them. Or unless there's other companies that don't charge them. But most of the big ones do charge them, and that's fucked up.
That's why when they ask you at the cash register if you want to round up to the nearest dollar for whatever charity, you say no.
That's right.
No.
I'm not trying to
Look
pay
into
for a
your
wedding.
charity.
Yeah.
Look into your charities that you donate to. That's so sweet of you, though.
So do you miss the long hair?
Not really, because I always like pull it back and wear a hat anyways, so it'd get all like torn out, and I just look like a fucking tumbleweed after a little bit.
This is
I had my
nice
hair was
though.
pretty long until like a month ago, and then I cut it again.
And your
it was
hair
like
is pretty
down
pretty.
past my nipple. Thank you. It looks like Super Mario right now. It's me.
Yeah, I miss my long hair. except sleeping on it because it would just
This is the longest my hair has been in fucking forever.
get all over the pillow.
Ooh,
Milltown Booking presents.
shout out to Nick Butenhoff.
This is shit. We didn't play like too many shows before this one.
No, this was I think we only played like with For Dire Life's Sake, and then a couple shows like in the middle of nowhere, like Jackson.
Yeah,
and
I remember
Janesville and shit.
we fucking rented I rented a U-Haul
Yeah,
just so we could get it because we didn't have transportation or anything like that, and played in a fucking loading dock.
yep. And I spent
And JJ met a girlfriend there.
Yeah. Shout out to JJ. Me and him played Pokemon Go really hard when Pokemon Go came out. We were grinding, cross-referencing Pokestop maps with topographical maps because that's how they spawn. Just so you know.
Dropping knowledge.
I got it. I'm going to be fucking telling you about ancient sites and Pokemon.
Yeah, this fucking bill had Whitechapel and Impending Doom not even headlining.
Right. This is back in the day. Two Pure to Die was headlining.
It's that fucking Shorewood Legion Hall, man.
Back in the day.
Whitechapel still rocking the 3 guitarists?
I believe so.
Are they still rocking?
Yeah, I believe so.
I haven't listened to much stuff. I don't listen to anything except for like System of a Down and like Trapped Under Ice, just for like old stuff. But I think from what I heard in the chatter is they went heavier, so that's cool.
Oh, I'm just amped it up to 11 because they were pretty heavy already, man.
Wow.
What do you mean? They added
Look
another
out.
guitarist?
Yeah.
4 guitars. Why 4? Because 5 would be too many.
I remember being so stoked to play this show, though, to play with Two Pure to Die, because I was straight edge for a very long time.
I didn't understand how big the show was at the time. Like less so than you. Like, you were stoked for it. I was like, oh, it's another show.
Yeah.
But
you were always like the necrophagist, like super,
like
not
tech
obscure. Yeah, not obscure, but like the person that would hate on Oceano. And this is more like the hardcore scene, because Impending Doom and Whitechapel were more probably closer to like just slam bands back then, before song structure came into play.
Just remember the guitar player from Impending Doom. You called him Eraserhead because of his haircut.
What?
I think that was.
But do you have the high and tight or what?
That was like a black guy, and he had like one of those fucking, like just straight up eraser haircuts. And they would fucking do this like just crazy headbang where they'd fucking like stand really tall and then like whip their bodies down and then like squat.
They had it down.
Almost like a crabcore.
I think you're talking about Manny. Shout out to Manny. But I don't remember Eraserhead, but he does have some tall hair. Oh,
But
doesn't matter what type of music or lifestyle you were into. Everybody in Milwaukee was a little ghetto. So you sagged,
sagged a little
you
bit.
had to sag your pants. That
Yeah.
was
Everybody's sagging.
I forget. I don't know who was playing, but it was Justin in the middle and Adam.
Fucking
the other
R.I.P.
side.
man.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, man. I think that's Pat. I can tell Pat always wore them brown fucking
Oh,
pants.
that's Pat on the side there?
That's them brown pants. He loved them. Dude, Pat's like, he's going to be like the fucking ultra fisherman on YouTube now. He's
Right.
killing it. Him and
He's
Justin.
going to be a new Bill Dance.
Yeah. Is that the guy with like the crazy blooper videos?
Yeah.
Where he's
Ain't
like,
that fine? How you do?
Yeah, snapped his poles in the truck. No, they be catching some big ass fish. It's crazy.
Man, I wish I could go.
Oh, here we go. This is.
I think I remember you recording this hot single.
I have a.
It was from this artist, but this is new. This is new shit, man.
I have an alternate persona where I'm like the Weird Al of conspiracies in rap, but I'm way better than mumble rappers.
Just noticed you have a picture of Andre 5000 on there.
Dude, this is the best rapper alive. This is like
You got all this fucking Egyptian
cover.
shit.
This is me to a T. Oh boy.
Fucking
that CD
Horace
I
and
put
like
that
King
CD
Tut
out.
and
You had a
shit.
Slytherin hat on?
Terrence McKenna. No, it says Swerve because I'm about that. Terrence McKenna. Actually have that, the statue to the other side tattooed on my arm here. Another weirdo fact, they found some city off the coast of Egypt that was underneath the water now, and they had a tablet that they pulled out of the water that told a slightly different story. I don't know why I pulled my sleeve up. You can see the tattoo in the picture right next to the statue. But, yeah.
What, like from Alexandria or something?
No, it was closer to... what the fuck city is that? I'm not the weirdo. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a poser. I don't remember.
Big swerve, though. Da Vinci Code.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, hey, look. It's a Nurgle boy.
This is the Great Unclean One. I spent 17 hours painting this, and is still rewarding.
Yeah, you digging it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it's super funny because that guy Sam that you went to hang out with, or
Yeah.
you like learn how to paint from, I like organically stumbled upon his YouTube when I was just like looking up tips and like started to watch more of his videos
Yeah.
because I was like, this dude seems cool, you know? Like
He is
he's into
cool.
this shit and he seems like a cool guy. And then like I followed his Instagram, and then like 2 days later I was talking to Doug because something fell through where you needed a guest, and I was like, oh, I can't make it. And he said, or no, yeah, you need it because you were going to hang out with him.
Yeah.
And it was just like this super tiny, like
Quick loop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
microcosm of like dork shit. But that dude's crazy. His painting is next level.
Yeah. He's got like a little thing just full of his trophies and shit. Yeah, it's good. So did you do this before, or was this all
No,
more
this
a
was-
recent thing?
Yeah, I got a buddy that I encounter at work, not at my work, but at a different place that I'm always at through my work. We bonded over dork shit, and then he was like, noticed that I played Magic because he saw me at the card shop, and he was like, hey, have you ever checked this out? And I was like, really bored, looking for something to kill time, and then he's like, well, this is like the bored killing time thing.
Yeah.
Fucking Jason, he's playing
Plastic
Hearthstone
crack.
now, but back in the day, he'd be like, anybody want to play some Magic the Gathering over Skype?
Dude, that's the thing.
Yeah, it is, man.
It's like
I haven't
most
done
of my
but
friends are obviously we have like Milwaukee friends, but most of the people I know are like live out of state, so you do a lot of shit over Skype, a lot of like
I was
lived
just
in a
like-
different state from the band, so we'd like ride over Skype and shit. And
I was just like, fucking Jason, if you want to play a card game, get up on Hearthstone. It's free.
I
Now
didn't
they
even
have
know
now they
about
have
it.
the online Magic one.
Yeah.
They had that too already. It's just
They have a new one though.
Yeah, my
They come out with a new one
brother-in-law
every year.
Invited me to play it, but I have a Mac, so then he just laughed at me. And now I'm waiting for the beta to be over. Sorry, I'm a scrub, John.
it's kind of funny that they'd laugh at you for playing a card game that's probably not that.
No, he laughed at me
intensive.
for having a Mac,
Oh yeah.
which is, justified.
So what's up with this Point Break photo here?
This is a pretty cool situation. The band Thick as Blood stopped at a putt-putt place, and they saw this was like to the side, and the guy that was running the putt-putt place just gave it to him.
The gorilla?
Yeah. So we nicknamed it Biscuits. This was in 2010 on the Over the Limit tour that we were doing. And so we ended up just like putting this big ass ceramic gorilla on stage.
Everywhere you guys went?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took it with us. We fucking dragged this like a solid mile from the parking lot to the beach to take this picture. It's crazy. The guy in the White Sox hat is actually an actor now. Gino Vento, shout out. He's in that Mayan show. He's in The Last OG with Tracy Morgan on TBS. He was in a movie. He had a speaking part with Jennifer Lopez, and he was like in a fucking hardcore band like a couple years ago. He's really killing it. Randy, too, from Thick as Blood. They were in that show Bloodline on Netflix as well.
Jeez.
He was the bad guy. No, they're like really killing it. They both like what the fuck is that movie? They both put a movie out together, I believe. Can't remember the name of it, but they're really killing it. It's crazy. Gino's got a show on HBO now. He's on like 4 things at once. It's crazy. It's the singer of Thick as Blood.
Well,
Wish I
can't
was
make
on
money
it.
playing music.
That's very true. It is not lucrative.
Oh man.
So what happened with the gorilla though?
Yeah, what happened to Biscuits?
Did you drop it off a highway? Shatter?
Thick as Blood is from Miami, and while they were home, somebody stole their trailer.
No.
So they
So
lost
that's where
all
you
their
went.
gear, Biscuits, RIP. And we don't know. I should search some hashtags, see if I can find them.
Looking for
Hashtag
biscuits.
biscuits.
Hashtag looking for biscuits.
Justice for biscuits.
The Russian guy that put on the fake fucking outfits, looking for biscuit. Whew. This is
That's full party favors.
I don't even need to explain this. It's just live your goddamn life. No, this was Halloween, and I was dressed up like a drug lord, and I had a bag of flour that I was acting like it was cocaine, and I was like, in between songs, or I'd just stop playing in the song and like take the bag out and like put my face in it and start blowing it out to the crowd and shit. And like halfway through, I was like, oh shit, what if someone's allergic to flour or something? Like somebody just starts having like a respiratory problem or something. Thankfully, that didn't happen. But I remember Adam's like super duper into like liking the devil and shit. And I remember a security guard after the show was like, y'all don't really like the devil like that, do you? And I was like, I don't know, man. He's crazy.
Oh, this guy does.
Yeah. That was
Biggest
a good
fucking
chain,
sweetheart in the world.
Well, I mean, Satanism's not as bad as people say it is.
I think that's the last one.
Yeah.
Man, look at that fucking chest hair, though.
Yeah, I should bring it back up.
Yeah. Can we get a zoom?
That's real.
Yeah.
That's just real.
That's real. I'm a man.
Man, we went
Good
we
times.
didn't even take a break today, man. Straight up. I think I think this is a good place to wrap it.
You think so?
Yeah, we could take a break and talk music still if you want to. I don't know if you have anything in the chamber.
Not really.
Yeah, I have something I could talk about, but
Yeah, the Smash Mouth album.
no, I'm not going to do that. I might in the future, though. Don't piss me off.
Yeah, he texted me on Monday. He's like, I'm doing Smash Mouth. I forgot the album name. And you're like, unironically. I think it's because we were talking about, what was that, Fushu Wang or whatever?
Fushu Mang.
Yeah, last week.
It's a great album. It's Smash Mouth's first album.
Everybody owned it, didn't you?
No.
No,
I was very poor.
They were a
I don't
fucking
even understand
ska
it.
band, man.
It was just
Yeah, I
like
was
one of the only albums I got as a kid.
Yeah,
or
me
CDs
too.
I got. And it's them like, the album cover is them in a station wagon flying past Saturn or something. I don't even know.
Yeah, basically. I don't want to talk about fucking Smash Mouth, though. I wanted to talk about, I don't know, we want to take a break?
Sure.
All right. We'll be RB. Just kidding. Show's over. Goodbye. See you next
Goodbye.
week.